Time for Focus next, and today we bring you a report from Mexico, a country which heads to the polls on Sunday to pick their next president. Now, if the opinion polls are correct, Andrés Manuel López Obrador is set to win. If this happens, it would be historic, as the left has never been in power. But he's made a highly controversial policy the centerpiece of his campaign: amnesty for prisoners who've committed certain categories of crimes. 2017 was Mexico's most violent in 2 decades, with over 23,000 homicides committed. Many fear going soft on criminals is a step in the wrong direction. Our reporters on the ground in Mexico filed this report.
With their masks, guns and spliffs, at first glance you might think these men are drug traffickers. But they're actually community police in Carrocillo. They certainly sound like how they look when challenging their opponents.
Come over here and you'll be fighting men who have real guts. Come on, Isaac, don't be a wuss. We're right here, waiting for you, so bring it on. And make sure you send us real men.
Community police are groups of citizens who've armed themselves to kick out and replace municipal police when they've been overwhelmed or corrupted by organised crime. They have the stamp of government approval. They're part of rural Mexico's complicated reality, where few issues feel black and white. Some of these police officers are marijuana or poppy growers.
All we do is cultivate these plants to survive. We can't earn enough growing beans or corn. If we're doing this, it's only because there are no other jobs around here.
But their day job is to protect their village from the Cartel del Sur, which dominates this part of the country. A few days before this, they were heavily attacked. One of their members was killed.
We were attacked with assault rifles, AK-47s, AR-15s, and sniper rifles. Those are weapons only the military is meant to use.
A federal police helicopter, and everyone runs for cover. 2 months ago, 42 of them were arrested for carrying illegal weapons. They only have permits to carry pistols.
Think about it. We can't defend ourselves with simple guns and rifles. You gotta fight poison with poison. So the feds came here and arrested us for so-called criminal conspiracy, for carrying weapons, but we're just defending ourselves.
There's an election looming, and the candidates have all been struggling to propose real solutions to years of spiralling violence. Whilst almost all offer up mano dura, or iron fist strategies, the one who's actually leading the polls, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has a different take.
We want to show neighbourly love. We're not just pushing for material wealth. We want souls to be at peace. We want justice, and we want happiness.
A leftist candidate with a last-minute evangelical party alliance, López Obrador is proposing something original: amnesty. But the details are still pretty hazy.
Who would be the beneficiaries of this amnesty? Farmers planting poppy? Hired lookouts? Hired assassins? The leaders of criminal groups?
I will call on experts to develop a plan and together define what we will do and work out how to roll out this amnesty.
The proposal rapidly became a punching bag for his opponents.
Andrés, your amnesty plan puts you on the same side as the criminals. You want to forgive the unforgivable.
But on the ground, supporters are more enthusiastic.
It seems really interesting to me because, for example, there are a lot of indigenous people like me who are behind bars but are innocent. They get no support, no lawyers. Many of them don't even speak Spanish.
It's not about freeing criminals. What he wants is to create peace in the country.
The person who'd be defending this policy down the line is Olga Sanchez. She's a former Supreme Court judge and López Obrador's pick for Minister of the Interior. But she's not worried. The various international treaties signed by Mexico would give a pretty clear framework if it comes to it.
For example, this law couldn't deal with crimes like genocide. torture, kidnap, disappearances, extrajudicial executions, homicide, rapes. All those crimes would be outside of the amnesty plan.
But it does mean that people detained for carrying heavy weapons in the countryside to protect themselves from organised crime could soon be released from prison. López Obrador seems more interested in tackling the causes of insecurity rather than its consequences, and that's a novel approach that Mexicans, desperate after years of violence, seem to be jumping on board with.